Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, we're here today to talk about the Joe Budden podcast, of course. And I can't believe it's been 5 days since my last video, apparently, because we have quite a few to talk about. I feel like I'm making them every other day at this point, but I guess that's what consistency does. I don't know. I like it though. I'm staying consistent. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you be part of the beautiful people family. Like the video, you guys. It does wonders for the algorithm, analytics, all of that. And it helps to push the video out, which I would appreciate. Subscribe. Did I say that? Whatever. All right, let's move. All right, so we start with the Patreon exclusive, The Human Experience. And that had Mr. Eric Benet. Which, okay, Eric Benet still sounds fine, you guys. He still sounds good. He used to be a heartthrob. He used to be so fun. And then with the voice to go along with it. However, Eric Benet, to me, he doesn't look the same. It's fine. He said he's not gay. I guess there were rumors that he was gay. He's not gay. He's not gay because he's a cheater and he cheats, I guess, with women. He was a cheater. He cheated on Hallie and then came up with the fact that he is a sex addict, which I think is just bullshit. I think it's just code for I can't control myself. So, yeah, not feeling Eric Benet. I'm sorry. Is he a legend? Sure. In my Parks voice, which I cannot stand. I said I was going to be nicer, so take that back. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to be nice, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to be nicer, but not nice. So, sorry. That's just me. All right, so they started with Eric Benet, which, again, I fast forwarded because I'm not feeling him. I'm sure he said some great, insightful things, so we move. Then in the same episode, we have T.I. And once again, just guest upon guest. It's just too much. But I do like T.I. I didn't fast forward him. I actually enjoyed the fact that he was sitting there getting toasty and starting to just be talking out his ass. So he ended up getting a little backlash from saying that the verses was for poor people. And he fixed it up real quick, said he was a little toasty up there and that's not what he meant. So, okay, that's fine. But I do think the pod talks about verses just way too much. I don't know if Joe is being paid on the side or what the case may be, but in today's episode, which I had to move on from, I couldn't even finish it. I was just like, well, I have lots to do today, so I may as well just go ahead and turn this pod off, which I have not done. I don't think I've ever really turned a pod off, like, never mind, but it was just so dry. And they wanted to talk about Pretty Ricky and B2K, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who Pretty Ricky is. I mean, I've heard the name. I couldn't name one song. Sorry to that group. I'm sorry. So I probably will get clowned for that, but I have no idea who these people are. But they talked about it on and on and on and on, and I just don't care. So couldn't do it. But T.I. was a good time. And then when Flip came, I thought it was cute. The way, people were looking for Flip up there. So I thought that was nice for him to feel wanted. He ended up coming and it was cool. Cool little interview. So we moved to the next one. All right. And the next one was episode 940, Good Kids. You guys, this was actually a good episode. You know why? Because they had real discussions. Like, that is what we watch it for. We don't want them to sit up and focus on Imani all the time. Ish all the time. It always has to be about Joe. We want to hear them discuss some actual topics and issues and things. And they did that. We started out with Tina Marie, Portuguese, and I was going to sing, which I know you guys love it when I sing. I'm sure you don't. Like, I honestly hate watching reviewers and they start singing. That shit just irritates me. Even if they sound good, that irritates me because that's not what we're here for. So, yeah, he started out with Tina Marie. I was very pleasantly surprised because I love me some Tina Marie. Mark, of course, said he was sick. He was just sick over the weekend. Like, Mark is always sick, which we know. We find out that Joe thinks Mark's wife be getting shut off because she is able to stay at hotels by herself or whatever. So if she's in New York, he just tells her, listen, don't come all the way home. It's fine. Stay in New York, get a hotel. And Joe is like, yeah, my girl couldn't do that. Like, could not do it at all. And of course, we know Flip said his wife could not do it because she can't do anything. Poor Winky, she can't move. Winky can't move, but he can do any and everything. And allegedly he does. But yeah, we also find out that Mark is taking a vacation. We found out today on today's pod. Mark is taking a vacation that he did not really want to take. However, his wife was just like, we're going to take that vacation. He also gave her the second wedding or whatever that she wanted. So Mark, I'm sure, or it seemed like allegedly, really was in the doghouse for something. We don't know, but Flip kept saying that he was kind of in the doghouse. And now at this point, it just seems like he is doing any and everything to make it up to her. I'm not mad at that. Like, listen, get your girl. If that's who you're trying to be with, then be with her and make things right. That's all you can do. So I won't clown him on that. However, I will clown the fact that Mark is talking a lot up there, you guys, which it's a no-win situation. I understand. We want them to talk. We don't want them to talk. However, Mark is talking so much. It just seems like, and then he screams and shouts. It just seems like a lot of Mark, the Mark show. It's just driving me crazy. And I am seeing a lot of people in the comments now having an issue with his stuttering, which a little bit of stuttering is okay, but he just tries to go so fast to jump in and overtalk people and get so much off that he just needs to slow down. Like, I feel like if Mark just slows down, he wouldn't do a whole lot of stuttering. So I don't know, but Mark is getting a little irritating. Nope, Mark is getting a lot irritating. So there's that. All right, let's unpack this pod. So they start off discussing Mona, of course. And if you don't know, Mona was in a viral video that went viral because she was in an almost altercation. It was more of an argument. She was in a bodega where she should not have been. So initially when I saw it on Instagram, I went under her comments and was like, Mona, you cannot be in these places anymore like that. Like, you should not be in the hood like that. And somebody else commented under my comment saying, yeah, Joe is going to have a fit about it. And I'm like, yeah, he should, because why are you in these places? And I mean, he shouldn't. He can't control what she does. But, if you know Joe, then he think he's too good for anything. But when you make it to a certain level, you have to think about your own safety. So I do agree with him on that. I don't agree with him on a lot of stuff, but I do agree with him on that. So that's exactly what happened. Joe was like, I'm going to let y'all talk because I'm going to get mad. And he did end up, after they spoke about it, they were saying that Mona handled herself well. And, her not popping off was good. She should not have been in that place. But she shouldn't have followed the lady back in the store and all that. Just leave. She should have left. But she handled herself well, basically, was the overall consensus. And then Joe, of course, went crazy and was just like, you can't be in places like this. And, exactly what we thought he was going to say. And they were right. So then later on when Flip comes, because Flip wasn't there initially, he was on his way, or either the next pod, I can't remember, sorry. But I do know that Flip ended up giving his 2 cents and saying that he felt like Mona handled it very well because he would not have been able to walk away. I mean, the girl was bumping Mona. She was telling Mona that she bumped her, and she was bumping her, demonstrating. She was calling her every bitch in the book and everything. And, Mona did handle herself well. However, she shouldn't have followed her in there. She should have just left out. But on Mona's podcast, she spoke about it, and she said that it was kind of an out of her body sort of thing that she followed her back in, but she wasn't following her. She was legit going in there to get something, and I don't know why she followed her. Basically, she should have just let it go, but she did do well. She didn't say anything. She didn't do anything, But of course, you have critics that are saying she is not as hard as she say. She tries to say she's so tough on the pod. However, this girl punked her, but she stands to lose a lot. And she also said that on her pod. I thought about Joe and that job. I thought about this job. I have jobs. I have shit that I do. And so I can't just lose out. And, so again, Mona did an amazing job. And I appreciate that. Then we have Clive Davis passing. And Mark spoke on that. And of course, Mark was being shady. He wasn't too shady, but he said a few shady things. And Parks interrupted, which pissed me off, saying, rest in peace to Clive Davis. He, made an enormous contribution. And I'm just like, shut your ass up. Shut your ass up, because he did a lot of shit to a lot of black people. And for you to interrupt Mark trying to still big this man up, Park, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Then they spoke on Brandon Marshall having his kid run at 2 a.m. So the room was kind of divided. Well, really, it was just kind of Mark that was saying he didn't agree with him posting it. He said he didn't mind the fact that he had his kid running at 2 a.m. as a punishment. It was just posting it online that he didn't agree with. And I can pretty much agree with that as well. He was talking about humiliating him, and it's okay to punish him. However, putting it online is just humiliating. And everyone else didn't find a problem with it because they felt like that is today's times. Like, in order to really, really get at them, you have to do something online, which is weird. That's weird for grown-ups to say to me, but okay. And Ice was really, really chiming in. No, that's what he wouldn't do that to his daughter. Like, he just wouldn't. So what are you talking about? And then they talked about Clive Davis versus Berry Gordy. That was a discussion. It was a good one. Whitney Houston versus Marvin Gaye. That was kind of weird too, because how are we even putting them in the same, I don't know, in the same kind. I mean, they're both great, period. They're both great. Good kids versus bad kids. And they were speaking on these kids who stalked, and I can't remember the rapper's name, but they killed the guy. So it was rapper Julio Fulio. And the two people that were arrested and charged were Isaiah Chance and Alicia Andrews. That was the couple. I think there were more to it. I'm not sure. But the guy threw the girl right under the bus. Was like, he got way more years than she did. And he's like, why did she only get a few years? And I'm like, this is your man. This is your boyfriend throwing you right under their bus, even though nothing he can say would have anything to do with her sentencing. But like, really? You just really want to be like, why didn't she get a lot of time? That's so shitty. It's so shitty. But whatever. But they were talking about the fact that he was a good kid, or they could have been good kids that just went wrong. And Joe was like, no, they literally stalked this man all day long so that they could kill him. That's not good kid, and that was a really good discussion. How can good people do bad things and still be considered good people? Or are bad people just born bad? Is it just in you? That's a good discussion, because I know people that have done some bad things, and I would and have classified them as good people. No, he's a good person. And I guess that just means in other facets, other places in his life, he's a good person. But if you're literally killing people and, doing really, really bad things, can you still be a good person? So Joe was even saying, like, King Von, for instance, was not a good person. He was a person that a lot of people liked. He was a little cute little boy. He had charisma, all that stuff or whatever. However, he killed a lot of people, allegedly. So they said. So he said, I think. But, was he a good person? Was he born that way? Good discussion. I still don't know. Would love to hear your thoughts. So yeah, they had a lot of good discussions, and another one was gentle parenting. And Mark is into gentle parenting, you guys. He's into gentle parenting. And everybody in the comments was like, that is why your son is bad as shit. And that is why you can't handle him. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have to agree. And allegedly he's super bad. That is per everyone on the cast and Mark himself. The little boy is bad. The little boy runs over them and does whatever he wants to do and is out of control. And that is due to gentle parenting. So good luck with that, Mark. He said that he ended up taking his daughter's phone, excuse me, I guess when she was in high school or something, and he took it for 3 months, and then he felt bad because she was so disconnected from the world, and he didn't realize how disconnected. Mark, miss us with that. Like, get away from us with that. I'm telling you, he just talks too much. Then they talked about Neo and his 3 girlfriends and how that just seems like a lot of work. Having a lot of women seems like a lot of work. But guess what? People do it. People do it all the time. I don't know if they have 3, but I mean, it is what it is. We move. But you guys, that brings us to today's episode where they started with Mark eating a full-on turkey bacon, egg and cheese croissant or whatever right on stage, and Joe finally calling him out. And he's like, Mr. Professional, come on, we're recording. He's like, oh, I didn't know we were recording. He's like, you sitting there eating and this. Yeah, thank you for finally calling him out because he's unprofessional as shit. And no matter how many times he's called out, he doesn't care. He still does unprofessional shit. However, I do feel like they need to have an on-air sign or something, because how many times do the pods start saying, are we on? Are we recording? Are we, like, Jesus, Parks, say something. Speaking of Parks, last thing about today's episode, you guys, Parks said that his superpower is white privilege. And I want you guys to just think about that and remember that. And remember that although Parks is sitting up there with all these black people who wants to invite him to the cookout and wants to call him a black person and all that, what did Mona tell him? He's a real nigga and all that, which he could be because nigga is not black. Sorry. But yeah, I need you guys to remember that Parks knows exactly who he is, which is why when he's speaking to them, to me, it comes off condescending all the time. It comes off as if he is really speaking down to them, which is condescending, of course. But it does. Anytime he speaks to them or says something to them, even that Patrones where he's, they're arguing about something or discussing something and he's ready to get out of there and he yells Patrones to try to wrap it up. Like, Parks is well aware of his white privilege and exactly who he is. And he feels like he is above all of them, no matter what, even Joe with all this money. It does not matter. You guys don't forget, Parks knows exactly who he is. His privilege is his superpower. Per him, that is out of his mouth. So Parks Hive, shut the fuck up. Oh, not my friend that's in Parks Hive though, not you. But all right, that's it, you guys. We are over 15 minutes and it just was not that serious. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you be part of the Beautiful People family. Once again, I will see you guys in the next video. Smooches.